So for the people that are watching what is happening here, the nomination paper of the aspirant is being verified by the commission. We're checking for, the commission is checking for the declaration of consent by the aspirant. The commission is checking for proof of minimum formal education of advanced level standard or senior 6. The commission is checking for proof of registration as a voter and for the proposers and the seconder. The commission is also checking that the right photos for purposes of the ballot paper have been attached. The commission will also be checking and is checking for compliance with Section 10 of the Presidential Elections Act, Section 10(1), Section 10, subsection Clause 3 of the Presidential Elections Act, which speaks to the proof that the aspirant submitted the required number of supporters, at least 100 from 2/3 of the districts in Uganda. The minimum of those being coming to 98 districts, and the minimum number of those supporters being 9,800. And the commission also check to confirm that the aspirant has paid the non-refundable fee of 20 million Uganda shillings. And checking as well to see that in the checklist there has been an appointment of the official agent. So that is what is happening for the interest of those seated here, our guests, and those that are following this exercise from wherever you are in the country and beyond.
So there is a team here, as you can see, the team of the
staff of the commission that are checking all those particulars as has been outlined. The big black books you see on the tables there contain all the electoral laws, all the laws that govern elections in our country are contained in those huge books you see on the table of the commission. They are like the Bible or the Quran for elections in this country.
We have checked and verified the aspirants' papers as presented, and we find them in order. That he has fulfilled all the requirements as stipulated in the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Museveni Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179. Okay. You can withhold those celebrations until later. Now we require the candidate or his appointed agent to come and sign this declaration. Which was supposed to be as a duly nominated candidate, Museveni Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta, you will be required to appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you will avail the commission with a schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. And thirdly, you will sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission on compliance with the harmonized campaign program timelines and guidelines. The law requires that upon nomination, the Electoral Commission shall avail the National Voters Register in a soft copy to the candidate. I hereby hand over the National Voters Register in soft copy form to your agent. After the business here, there are other two functions. One, we shall hand over to you your security vehicle. Secondly, you also address the press or the media in a designated area where you'll be ready to, if you want. I think that is all for now. Thank you. Can we now go and hand over the security vehicle to the candidate? Congratulations upon your nomination.
Members of the press, please get to the places where the place for the interview. somebody is there to the protocol team, the commission leading the candidate now to his security detail, his security vehicle.
So now tugenda kuli mu tent.
Yes. That's the tent area. Our dear guests who are with us this morning, we've just witnessed the declaration of the first nominated candidate, who is sponsored by the National Resistance Movement Party. The nomination exercise continues. We are waiting to receive the second aspirant, who will be taken through a similar procedure. So we want to thank you for coming in and for giving us this time. Our nominations go on up to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. As we await to receive the commission back, we want you to feel at home, feel at the Electoral Commission. Thank you very much. DJ, you can give us appropriate interval music as we cross over into the next activity. Thank you very much.
Well, to this very point, the duly nominated candidate that is of the National Resistance Movement, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has been duly nominated and certified by the Electoral Commission. And yes, the process that is going on right now, he's going to be handed over his security detail that is going to be actually accompanying him during the campaign trail. That is what we are witnessing right now, and thereafter he will be actually addressing the media in a very, very shortest time possible. But also, it is true that actually he has followed all the guidelines as they were stipulated by the Electoral Commission. He has come with only 20 people in one yellow bus that actually accompanied him as he was being, of course, received by the Speaker of Parliament, that is Right Honourable Anita Amonga, together with the Deputy Speaker, Right Honourable Thomas Taiba, and also other dignitaries that are actually in place. So what is going on right now, he is actually ensuring that he gets that car that he's going to use for the security detail in that matter. But of course, not forgetting that he is still the head of state, so he has his own Special Forces Command that is actually always usually in charge of his security. But of course, as per the Constitution, the Electoral Commission as well has to ensure that they fulfill the mandate of giving every duly nominated candidate a lead car actually, and that of the escorts that will be actually accompanying him during all his campaign trail. So as for now, anytime from now, he will be addressing the media. We are actually waiting for him, and of course I will be coming back to the studios as we get ready to hear what he has for us, that is as the nation at large. So it is very important to ensure that we get to hear exactly what he will be actually talking talking about, and in particular, I do understand he will be talking about the NRM manifesto. What is there that is going to fulfill, and what is that he promised? But of course, he will be standing with. But of course, like I said, we do have a number of people who are actually accompanying him. We do have the Prime Minister, that is Right Honorable Robina Nabanja. I'm seeing the once Prime Minister as well, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda. I'm seeing almost all the SEC members are actually all available to ensure that the process actually moves on smoothly, together with the government chief whip, that is Honorable Hamson Obua. President has also been still accompanied by the First Lady, that is Janet Kataha Museveni. She's also available to ensure that she witnesses all the process and whatever is going to be happening. So what we wait to hear is to see and also get to understand, that is if we shall have an opportunity to ask him some questions regarding what he will be telling us as far as his manifesto is concerned. So it is very important that the security detail is actually getting ready to ensure that we kickstart with the event. It is very important for all the Ugandans to see that they actually understand, but also keep an ear on what is going to be said at this very particular time. It is very important as well, because we do expect more two candidates that are going to be actually duly nominated today. We do expect Elton Mabirizi, we do expect Robert Kasibanda, and of course tomorrow we do expect the president of the National Unity Platform, that is Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, but also Honorable Nandala Mafabi, that is the candidate for the AFDC. So, but as for now, the candidate that is supposed to be nominated as of now, that is the candidate of the National Resistance Movement, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He has actually been duly nominated and certified by the Electoral Commission. But it is very important as well to understand that those who follow history, the practice of leaders assuming office through elections in Uganda can be traced to pre-independence period. That is, if you actually do remember the British colonial times, that is in about 1957 and 1958, when the British actually protectorate gave African countries to start arranging and organizing elections. It was actually a precursor for our independence, that is in 1962. So we actually following history to ensure that this as well helps in prevailing democracy in the country. It is very important. So as for now, we shall be as well be hearing from the elected, duly certified and nominated candidate of the National Resistance Movement, that is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And obvious, here we go right now.
The members of the Electoral Commission who have gone back to their area, the NRM leaders who are here, the Vice Chairman Haji Gongo, Second Vice Chairperson Anita Mong, all the other Vice Chairpersons, members of SEC, all the other supporters of and leaders of NRM who are here, and those who are listening. I thank the Electoral Commission for doing the detailed work of studying the documents and approving our candidacy, our candidature. It's a lot of work, a lot of paperwork. I congratulate them. I congratulate the Electoral Commission. I want to thank the NRM members for again showing trust in me and electing me as the NRM chairperson for the period 1925-1931, and also for the flag bearer for the period 1926-1931. As we have discussed in our inner organs, But before I talk about the future, I hope nobody will accuse the Electoral Commission for campaigning for me. When they selected this site here, what I challenged the NRM media team to do is to go and get a satellite picture of 1986, if they can, of this area. Sometimes those pictures are there. Get a satellite picture of this area, this area, which they call Ruboa, Weza, they mix them up. This whole area, up to Gwebaja. If they could get the satellite pictures of 1986 of these areas and now, then you would not have to campaign much, you just show. You Gen Z people, these are Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen Z. The Gen Z is my comrades, my supporters. You should see that picture of 1986 here. This was a coffee shamba here. That's why they call it Ruboa Estate. It was a coffee shamba owned by a British company called Mitchell Courts. Now when you come here, it's amazing. If you, all the way you can see. A satellite picture of 1986 and now would speak many words rather than just talking. And the whole of, if you want to show the whole of Kampala, 1986 from the satellite, and now, just the picture. So where we are moving to now is to, again, convince the people of Uganda of what has been achieved in the past and what we are planning to do now. At Kololo, I will say more in the afternoon, but really we have got two major thrusts. Thrust number one is to work with the middle class and the investors from outside to completely transform Uganda from a lower middle income country, which we are now. We are no longer a least developed country, we are now a lower middle income country, to high middle income country moving towards first world country. I think the idea is that in this Kisanja, which we are now concluding, if you check the figures, the GDP of Uganda has doubled, apparently. I had not bothered to check that, but they pointed it out. That at the end of the last Kisanja, we were like 34 billion. We are now 66 billion. It's really, I don't know why NRM doesn't talk more about some of these things, because they are really remarkable. To double the size of GDP in one term is not a mean achievement. And this is what we intend to do in this coming term. And things are now much faster because we have everything that we didn't have in the past. We have electricity. We have the roads, although we need to repair some of the others. We have the telephones. We have the manpower, the educated people. We have the peace. That's why we are being flooded with more investments. Because people in the world are looking for a peaceful area, a peaceful and profitable area where to invest. That's why there's one of our Asian people, the one who was heading the Uganda Indian Association, I've forgotten his name, but he always tells me about Uganda being a land of the 3 Ps. Peaceful, profitable, and something else, three Ps. Peaceful, profitable, and some other third one. It has got everything. They are coming because there is peace. But on the other side, we, the NRM people, need to ensure that all our population layers get involved. This is where we have some challenges. And this is where we need to address what I always call the mass issues, the issues of the masses. Number one, everybody to be involved in the money economy with the Kibaro. That's number one. Number two, education. Free education for our children of the poor in government schools. For all children in the government schools. The rich ones can take their children to private schools. Number three, the roads. Making sure that the tarmac roads are repaired on time so that we don't have to lose time and then get potholes and then come late and do so more expensively. But also, the Maram roads are maintained. And the money is always sent. The next one, health, the health. The immunization is doing very well, but the curative side sometimes has problems. Ensure that the drugs are there, are not stolen. The issue of water, safe water for all the villages, that must be concluded. Then crime. There is peace in the country. There is no war. The army cannot allow that. But there is a bit of crime and impunity. Criminals who are not handled because of some corruption among the people involved. The NRM structures need to come out and help expose crime and hold accountable all the criminals. And then getting rid of corruption. These ones will help all our people to enjoy the transformation going on in Uganda. It's not good for the middle class to do well, as you can see, because all these people who have built these houses here, you can see from far beyond Bwebaja, areas which were bush are now high-value properties. They are owned by some people, the middle class. But we want the wananchi, all the wananchi, to benefit. So this is the double mission in the coming Kisanja. Continue empowering the middle class, the investors, whether local or from outside, but make sure that the masses are all involved. I thank you. We shall say more as we go along. I thank you, and I wish everybody good luck.
At your discretion, you may wish to take some questions, if you may. Yes, you come here.
5 questions.
Thank you. So you say your media house?
Or to be fair, 6, 3 for boys, 3 for girls.
Thank you. Mr. Kaya, straight to the point. You say your name, your media house, and straight to the point with one question.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Terakaya is my name. Kulwaba piza ntiboka nchibuze mu Luganda. Your Excellency, mu myaka gino waliwo abantu bangi abakyagobwa ku ttaka naddala abakadde babakonedde amayumba. Waliwo ne mukono eyo eyali omulwanyi wo Musa Mwanje, family eri displaced. Ensonga y'ettaka naddala mu Buganda ogenda gitunulira otya?
Ensonga y'ettaka faba NRM twagikolokodda musiye n'omuteeka erifuga ettaka eryajja luvannyuma twalemerawo ne tugamba nti ow'ekibanja talina kugobebwa ate obusuulu bulina okubeera kw'ekikomo. Kati abo bonna bye bakola bimenya amateeka. Awo wenenyeza ba RDCs bange tebandikiriza ekyo kubeerawo kubanga ebiragiro tibikiriza omuntu yenna kugoba ow'ekibanja oba okumutema kw'ekibanja ekyo. Olusalo olwo twaluwangula dda mu biragiro. Soma ebiragiro bamwita Kaya, osoma ebiragiro by'ettaka olabe ow'ettaka takkirizibwa kugoba ow'ekibanja. Babikola mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. And because kati kyemukola mulonde ababaka ba NRM kubanga abo abasirikire ebyambiyoni ebyo buwekenenya ogenda kusanga bano bemwaleeta abalala abali ku byabwe. Ate ne bwe twali tulwana mu by'ettaka baali batuwakanya, baali tebaagala kulwana kuwa ekibanja, ffe tulemera kuwa ekibanja. Soma ekiragiro ky'ettaka nga bwekiri, tekikiriza. Tokkirizibwa kugoba w'ekibanja, tokkirizibwa kumutemako ekitundu ky'ekibanja kye, ate obusuulu buliko ekikomo. Ate government Minister of Lands yabukiriza si bw'amaanyi. Ab'amataka b'emulugonyo olwo ne bagamba nti siringi 10,000 lwokka olwaliwo mu budde obwo nti tirina makulu. Ne mbagamba nti mulaba abaserikale bankubira salute eriko sente meka? Obusuulu obwo salute yokka nti sebe nkutegedde. Olusalo olwo twalwana ne tulwangula. Banamboze bali babalimba wano nti bebagamba nti ettaka lya Buganda lyabasenze si ly'abamayiro bokka. So the issue is implementation, not the law, because we handled it.
Shamim.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Shamim Nabakoza. I work with NBS Television. Mr. President, I have just two. One, to find out from you.
Only one question, because remember...
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Remember, we're in democracy now.
Thank you, Mr. President, and that's where I want to begin from on the question of democracy. As a father of this nation, how are you entirely preparing it for transition away from just the elections? Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, this is what I said when I introduced. I told you that we are point number 3 in our principles is socio-economic transformation. Nabakoza. Just look around, see here, what do you call this? This one was a samba. The other samba liye mwanyi wano. Naye tunule kiri wano. ate aba electoral commission bakoze bulungi ne bandeeta wano ate namwe ne babaleeta ate ne mujja na kamera zammwe mukube ebifaananyi mwagala kugenda mugulu oba mwagala kugenda mugeeyana oba mwagala kugenda mugulu mulina okubeera ab'amazima nsomoozezza abantu bange aba press batufunire ebifaananyi by'ebitundu bino 86 nakati bafune ebyolwaleero mulabe muteeke mawulire gammwe. So our main work is not just formal democracy, just elections, but socio-economic transformation. In the speech in the national conference, I gave you the 5 stages, which I don't want to go into now. Recovery, expansion, diversification, value addition. Now we are in phase 5 of knowledge economy. That's transformation.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Timothy Nyangweso with UBC. My question is the number, you both showed that the numbers between 0 and 18 is 55%. And also 19 to 24 is about 22%. In the next Chisanja, we're going to have about a boom of young people, 49%. What is the plan for those young people of a boom of 49% in the next Chisanja?
Mr. Nyangweso. Olumusaada musamya oliyotie
ndiyo olibulayi
ndi mulayi
abengo
abengo balayi we are speaking our language which these people don't understand. The answer to your question is what we have told you, and I would like anybody who has got contrary opinion to oppose it. We have told you repeatedly that the answer for all Ugandans for livelihood are the 4 sectors. Nyangweso wulidde munange sectors ennya: obubondo, obuna. Mukamereza muzikola oba zikola munkwate ate anampakanya aveyo tuwakane. There is no other way except the 4 sectors. Sector 1, commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. If you have got land, if you want to get out of poverty, route number 1 to get out of poverty is to engage in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. And we have told you repeatedly how that should be. Sector 2, manufacturing and artisanship. That is the second sector. Third sector, services, hotels, tourism, transport, rumor mongering like you people here. Somebody lives by rumor mongering. This is a service. Nyangweso is picking rumors from here, taking them around that he's informing us. Most of the time he's misinforming us. But we pay you. That Nyangweso is paid for okusakama wulire. Kusakama wulire n'obulimba byonna n'asaka netumusasula. Services. Sector 3. Sector 4, it is really part of Sector 3, but I like to put it separate. ICT. There is, for instance, a sector known as, an activity known as BPOs, business processes outsourcing. Somebody can be an auditor here or an accountant, and he gets assignment from Canada, a company in Canada. They send you their books here. You arrange them properly as an accountant should do, and you send them back and they pay you. So this is the fourth sector. ICT, number 1, services, number 2, manufacturing and artisanship, number 3, commercial agriculture, number 4. There is no other way. If anybody tells you there's another way of how the young, whether you are young or old or ancient or modern, these are the 4. If there's anybody who knows another sector, I have forgotten. Of course, there is government service, public service, but it is also a service. You hear they call it public service. There's also political service, politicians. That is also a service. But the problem with the public service is that the jobs are very limited. The whole public service is 480,000. All of them, soldiers, policemen, spies, rumor mongers working for the government, corrupt civil servants, all of them together, 480,000. Population of Uganda is 46 million. How can the government be a solution? It's not a solution. That's why we've been telling you that even where we are now, manufacturing is employing 1.2 million people. That is almost 3 times compared to what the government is employing. Services are employing 5 million people. The agriculture is employing 3.6 million. But I have told you, I've given the example of Nyakana or Fort Portal, who is using 1 acre in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro, and he's getting very good money, and he's employing 15 people. And I've told you that if people with 1 acre, 7 million of them, if each one employed 15 people, we would create 105 million jobs. More jobs than all the Ugandans. And it can happen. That's what happens to you people when you go to China, to Japan to do HAU. You get jobs which the Japanese are not doing. They don't have enough people to do those jobs. Here we can do it here. If you listen to our message, the 4 sectors, I challenge anybody in Uganda, abroad, or wherever, tell me the other sector which I have forgotten. And wherever the sector, you tell me. Challenge them. You put it on the radio and say, Museveni has challenged the people. If you know another sector has forgotten, bring it up. So, this is the answer for those young people. When you say young people, I am a former young person. Don't you see me here? Young people. We have seen young people since time immemorial. I am a former young person. So I know how to be young, I know how to be middle age, I now know also how to be old. I know everything. So, please, when you find our children going to Dubai, what are you going to do in Dubai? Eh? Here we have got more potential for more jobs than the Dubais can have. Eh? We've got everything here. Muleka obugaga wano ne mugendeyo okukola ng'abaddu gye mugenda. Nze sifuluma, there's UN now, there's something UN is going on. Nze ndi wano mbyange. Fortunately, I've got my young people. They are there in the UN. I can send you there to the UN. Is anyone? Okay, how many remaining?
Owekitiibwa President, Shamshad Naluja.
The other man, Julius Muchunguzi, is now doing some work. He has been around for some time, rumor mongering. Ani muzukuru?
Nalongo Shamshad Naluja okuva ku GOTV. Olw'abantu bawansi ngenda kozesa Luganda. Kati ekibuuzo kyange kiri abasawo ku muwendo gw'abasawo gwe tulina mutono ddala naddala basawo abalabirira abaana abazaalibwa nga tebannatuuka ekiviirako ba mothers abamu okufiirwa abaana baabwe oba oluusi n'obulamu bwabwe n'ebiba byennyininyini incubators eziteekebwamu abaana bano nga baakazaalibwa tuyina ntono naddala mu government facilities mu kino ekisanja ekitandika Mr. President ogenda kukola atya ensonga eno okulaba ng'ogitereeza bulungi.
To explain it well, I may have to use English. Narongo will have to forgive me.
It's okay, Mr. President.
Because the NRM health plan is integrated. Because we came from the rural areas when we were fighting. That's why we started with prevention. But some people don't concentrate on it. And the prevention meant you take the health care up to the sub-county. Have a health center 3 there. That health center does immunization, which is doing very well. That's why you are all here. You show me an NRM child who is lame because of polio. Because of the immunization. And this is just one element of prevention, just immunization. But the problem is that you don't listen to the message of the NRM. Suppose you added nutrition, just educating the people what to eat, what to eat, what to eat, what to eat. And you added hygiene, and you added careful lifestyle. You don't go for alcohol, you don't go for umaraya. And we dealt with malaria, sleeping under the bed nets. How many diseases would remain? Because most of the diseases are covered. Now, the obstetrics you are talking about, if you go to the health center 3, if you do antenatal, they call it antenatal, they would have seen your baby inside the womb, how the baby is. But people don't do that. So, when we started, the health center 3 was supposed to be 1 per sub-county. At that time, we had like 2,000 sub-counties. I'm sure I have not checked. But if you check, you may find that all the old sub-counties already now have health center 3, the old ones. The ones they say don't have are the new ones. I will check it, I will check it. And the reason we selected the sub-county is that it is because I know what a sub-county is. I know the ones of Ankole, I know the ones in Ruero here, like Semuto, Gobakuzarawa, Nalongo.
Masaka Sera.
Masaka sijimanyi bulungi abana buddu abo nabayita mbuyisi. Na Ruero, jemanyi. If you take like Semuto sub-county, from Semuto to the boundary with Makurubita, just 2 miles, Maware. From there to the boundary with Kapeka, like 3 miles. So the reason we said health center 3 at the sub-county, you could even walk to the sub-county. You didn't even have to use means. But people don't concentrate on this. They don't listen. They don't. So if there was this proper antenatal, a lot of those problems could be avoided. But I have heard your statement about the premature and the incubators and all that. I will check. That one I don't want to talk about what I'm not sure about.
Thank you so much.
But I can tell you, if we use the prevention, you get rid of 70% of the sicknesses. The last one.
Neyanza nnyo His Excellency amanya nze mwesigwa David nga nkola ne Galaxy TV mugw'omukaaga lwe nali mu State House. His Excellency natuusa ripooti gye wali nga nkugamba nti amalwaliro naddala ery'emukono Kayunga ne Namuganga Health Center 3 mulimu obuze bugamba nti mu ddwaliro ly'emukono General Hospital abakazi bazaalira wansi n'abazadde ku ssaawa 9 bwe zituuka ssaawa 10-11 kibakakatako kubagaba muveeyo ku bitanda mugende ebweru ne weekanga omwana eyazaddwa ng'ali mu mbeera ennungi ng'afunye ammonia kusinziira ku mpewo gy'aba afunye ebweru. Ne nkuleetera ripooti endala. Kayunga General Hospital oxygen plants zaazikira kati tutemwaka mulamba n'ekitundu. Ne nkuleetera Namuganga Health Center 3 nti eddwaliro ddamba lirina abasawo 4 naye weekend tekola. His Excellency n'osuubiza nti ogenda kukikwatako naye since then ne kaakati tetulabangako kigenda mu maaso. Abakazi bakyeyongera kuzaalira wansi. Ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri weeyongeddeko n'omuze nti omwana omukazi eyandibadde n'amaanyi agazaala kimukakatako kumusindika mu operation b'okusobola kweyolera omusimbi. Kyesitegeera obunafu His Excellency buli side ki buli eri Ministry of Health eri abakulira amalwaliro oba mu ba RDC and DSOs. Neyanza nnyo Mr. Excellency. Simanyi oba amanyago ani? Amanya nze mwesigwa David nga nkola ne Galaxy TV. Simanyi oba mwesigwa onampayiriza simanyi. Kubanga sitera kwerabira, but I don't remember very well. But fortunately now, totumye wetuukidde mwesigwa kati. Nabanja lyawo. Nabanja yingira mu nsonga ya mwesigwa munango ntwase mwesigwa. Kubanga oba mpayirizo kubanga sibijjukira bulungi. But mwesigwa, you see what you are saying. Omanyize kindabye wano mu Uganda kunyooma. Simanyi kunyooma, obutafaayo, obutawuliriza. Mwesigwa sooka owulirize onakolagana Nabanja oluvannyuma. Simanyi oba kunyooma oba ki. Kubanga owulira mwesigwa byagamba. Omujjuzo oguli mu district hospital. Mukono gyagamba is already a district hospital. Kayunga is a district hospital. The plan was decentralize all those problems to the health center 3 so that you have got less numbers. Omujjuzo ogwo ebitanda biweddewo okusola ku lubalaza okuzaala in the veranda. It is because the plan was never listened to. Because how many people are giving birth in a sub-county? They are not the same numbers when you gather to, you bring all the Bakunja, you bring all the other people, they all come to Mukono. The number is bigger. So there's some issue of discipline. Mulago here, Mulago is supposed to be a referral hospital. But people turned it into a primary health care hospital. Owomusujja wekidukano agenda Mulago. Even when we built Kawempe, we built this other one, Chirudu, said Mutandikireyo, Bonna. So the issue of discipline. I think also the leaders don't insist. Because if there was
you count how many health centers I will check when I come in the afternoon on the rally. I will talk about it. How many health centers we have now? Do you know?
Your Excellency, we have 1,553 health centers 3s. 1,500.
And how many were the old sub-counties?
They were less than 1,000.
Yeah, no, they were like 1,200.
And then we have 230 health center 4s. Because where we put a health center 3, where we have a health center 4, we don't put health center 3. So if you add 1,500 health center 3s, then 2,030 health center 4s, that gives you 1,700 sub-counties, each with a health unit.
Yes. So I can conclude here, Mwesugwa, and all of you, by giving you example of our time. Mom and myself, we were born in a place called Ruhama. Ruhama was together with Rwampara. They were one. It was all called Rwampara. Now that time, what they were calling a dispensary, what you can call Health Center 3, was only one in Chinoni. Now Chinoni is 25 miles from Ntungamo, where we were born, and is 15 miles from Mbarara. And Rwampara would go from Mbarara on the way to Kabare up to mile 48. And we had only one health center, equivalent to one health center 3. Now, all those sub-counties have health centers. The ones over Rwampara, Muizi, Bugamba. Biaranga can check for me later on. You tell me how many health centers there is in Rwampara. The old Rwampara, which was Rwampara Rahama. How many are there now? I know that in our time it was one. So that was our strategy. Have more health centers so that you deal with all the prevention there. What should be going to the district hospital should be, we even provided for surgery at the health center 4. Surgery at health center 4. But they don't use it. Babuka. So they all come and... Thank you so much.
You asked for 6, and the last one is this one.
Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Erios Namugambe. I work with Channel 44. I will also ask mine in Luganda.
Okay.
Echange chikwata ku byanjigiriza. Wayogedde ku byenjigiriza ebyobwerere bye wateekawo naddala mu masomero aga primary. Naye mangi ku masomero gano mu byalo eyewala abaana basomera wansi mu miti. Ate n'abasomesa ennaku zino babadde beekalakaasa nga tebasasulwa ssente bulungi. Netono ze balina obbasasula ate kumpi balina zikubira bikonde tebazifuna. Abaana bangi ennaku zino tebakyasoma abali mu byalo. Ogenda kukola otya mu kisanja kino okulaba ng'ensonga eno egonjoolwa ate era mu byalo eyo amasomero agasinga tegali nnyo kumpi n'abayizi bangi bakyatambula eŋŋendo empanvu. Ogenda kikola otya mu kisanja kino Jjajja Mwami?
Now let's see how many primary schools do we have now? Government ones, if you know.
Your Excellency, we have 12,549 primary schools run by government.
12,000.
12,000, yes, sir.
Olumuzukulu amanyago muzukulu abadani?
Erios Namugambe.
Na?
Namugambe.
Namugambe.
Yes.
Now Namugambe, plani ye twatandika nayo yali okufuna essomero lya gavumenti, kufuna essomero lya gavumenti erya primary Bulumuluka. Owulidde Namugambe? Va ku byabyalo hanga aleme okudiverting, owuliriza ebya Jjajja Mwami. Kati you check the parishes. When we started, I remember the parishes were like 5,000.
When we started the UPE, the parishes which had a primary school were 6,880. We now have 12,000 primary schools. So we have like doubled the number of...
No, but how many were the parishes?
I will check that.
Yes. For me, I think the parishes were about 5,000. So I think by now, all the old parishes may have already got a primary school.
We now have primary schools in 6,200 parishes.
But these are new ones.
Yeah, including the new one. All the old ones have now.
Yes.
All of them have.
Yes.
We have now exceeded all the old ones.
So the problem is again of tough because come to the microphone Namugam. So twatandikana nkakasa nemiruka yali nga 15 I think, but we can check. And the plan was make sure there is a government primary school per parish. Abana basobole okutambula nebigere bagende basome bakomewo. I think now, but the local government keep increasing the parishes. But if you increase, for instance, like in our parish of Mama and myself, the one of Chikoni, we used to have one primary school somewhere there. Now there are like 4. But even if we maintained the old one, the one we had in that parish, children could have walked or cycled to the school and go back and study. But so I will check the number and answer you properly in some of the. I think the density, because what we're talking about is the density. The density of the schools is not enough. Kati abana abasomesa okubasasula, we are paying them better than the private schools. Do you know that? Emisala gye banyooma eya government. I think Mama would want to say something on that. Do you remember anything? She will check, but the Emisala, people like Tayewa know something about, you know about schools. Come and say something. How will they pay? The pay which these people, these teachers are looking down upon in the government schools compared to what they are paid in private. The arts teachers now, the ones who are striking.
Mzee, most of the teachers in the art schools are not even paid in the private schools. Because when we go to the village and we engage with them, especially the ones in the rural schools, they are not even paid. But now the has not been even the amount they are earning. They are only saying you have given so and so, the science much more. So we also want to take what you've given the other party. So but Mzee, most like up country, around 200,000.
But in the private schools?
Yes, in the primary schools, for private. Country.
How much are they paid?
Around 200,000.
Nabanja, you know something?
In the private schools, Mzee, not government.
So Namugambe, guno omusala gwaffe gwe banyooma gusingira ddala kye basasola mu private schools. And regarding the difference between the scientists and the arts, it is because we want your economy to develop. In order for the economy to develop, these roads need engineers to look after them, the engineers. The power stations need electrical engineers. The hospitals need doctors. The coffee and agriculture needs extension workers, scientists. So that's why we said, yes, I am a person of arts, literature, I am a man of literature. I can quote for you Shakespeare, what Shakespeare said and all that. But when there is a problem on the road, I can't help you. So we are saying, Banangi, let's start with the scientists, because they are fewer, but they are needed immediately. Later on we shall go to the arts. For them they say, no, if we all don't get, nobody gets. Now that's what we cannot accept. Yeah. That is so much selfishness, where you say, if I don't get, nobody else gets. In the bush, we had no food. I keep telling you this. But if there was little food, we would give it to the soldier who is on duty that day. You eat more so that you don't kusumagira, and they come and kill us. Yes, I am a commander, I am senior to you, but you get more food because we need you now. Nabanja, banyonyere kucha ensasolo y'abasomesa aba arts mu government schools and the private ones. Ate yogera mu Luganda kubanga Oluganda olusinga olwange.
Oweekitiibwa President, mu gavumenti omusomesa afuna essente entono ennyo, afuna $5,800 buli mwezi gross. Kakati mu private schools bafuna emitwalo okuva ku $20,000, abamu bafuna na $15,000, ate bazisasula mu bitundutundu, ate oluusi mu holidays tibabasasula. Oweekitiibwa President, waliwo abasomesa okusinziira ku budde bwe bamaze nga basomesa. Abasomesa abamu kaŋŋambe nga abaluddewo nga basomesa, naddala aba head teachers, bafuna wakati w'N9,800 oluusi okutuuka ku million, aba private. Mukama wange President, watulagira okufeezinga abasomesa bano okuva 2019. Baludde nga tubongezaako, si kituufu nti tetwongezangako. Ate noddamu n'olagira juuzi emabegako mu 2024 nti abantu bonna abali mu arts tubongeze omusaala okutandikira ku ba security, abo twabakozeeko omwaka guno, ate omwaka oguddako 2026-2027 watugamba tubongeze ebitundu 25, then mu myaka 3 tube nga tuli mu bitundu 7. Oweekitiibwa President, aba arts bwe bati bwe bali, ate nga tujja kubongeza kubanga kyolagira tewali akiddamu.
So Norwecho, those fellows are selfish. They don't tewaroza ku nsi yaabwe, beeroza ko bokka. That's why we cannot. They should go back to work. They are very selfish. For abasirikale tubadde tufuna omusaala mitono emyaka gino gyonna, myaka 5 nze ndwana, tebansasula olusi bwe bansasula katono, naye nendwana ndi wano temundaba. Even now, you know how much salary I earn? Do you know, Namugambe? They pay me 3.6 million. Nenjako 20% for the NRM. Mama wanasigaza ku account here 2.7 million. Nagani kuongeza omusala kubanga nagamba sisobora kweyongeza omusala when the abantu abakozi ba government abawansi bachafuna ntono. So it's not salary, it is service and building our country, and then if we are still there we shall be well paid, if not our children will be well paid. Okuzimba ensi yaffe sikukayanira ebitaliiwo. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody.
So Julius Msigu has dismissed us.
J.S. Muchunguzi, on behalf of the Commission, thanks you for coming.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Huh? No, what's in there? Yes.
That was a good one. So, how are you? Good. How are you? Good to see you.